Dear students, welcome to the science class. So in the last class we were discussing about the magnetic effects of electric current topic. In that topic we discussed about the induction of the current, that is nothing but electromagnetic induction. So today we are going to discuss about the Fleming's right hand rule. So we know that if I take a magnet like this, this is the north pole of the magnet and this is the south pole of the magnet. Right. So we already know that how does the electromagnetic induction takes place. That is nothing but how we are going to get an induced current or induced voltage. So if we move a magnet towards the coil, if there is a relative motion is present between the magnet and the coil, then it is going to induce a current in that conductor. So if you remember the previous example, we are keeping the coil here and we are continuously moving the magnet towards the coil and away from the coil, towards the coil and away from the coil. Then there is the induced current is coming. So we already know that to induce a current we require a magnetic field as well as we required what? We required a moving conductor, or we should change the magnetic field continuously. So we are going to make a setup by using these magnets. So we are going to use a horseshoe magnet here, and this is the north pole and this is the south pole here. So you already know that magnetic field will be go from the north to the south. North to the south. So let this be the conducting material. Let this be the conducting material. So here what I am going to do here, I am continuously do the motion of this conducting material in the to or fro, up and down direction, or I am going to do it in to or fro motion. So if you do the to and fro motion, it is not possible that it is going to induce current. I am going to do a to and up and down motion, or I am going to take it out and I am going to put it in. So see here, when I do to and up and down motion here also. So if you check here total 4 lines are going here in this direction. 1, 2, 3. Let this be the magnetic flux which is going from the north to the south direction. It may be more than that, but consider 4 lines. So if you check here, if I do up and down motion, see here the magnetic field which is going through this conducting material is 4 lines. If I take this to the upward direction, then there will be 3 lines. If I can take upward direction, then there will be 2 lines. If I take again, there will be 1 line. Again I am going to take it down, again I am going to take it up. So if you check here, this conducting material experiencing different type of magnetic flux. Different amount of magnetic flux, that is nothing but magnetic field lines. So if it is experiencing different amount of magnetic field lines, that means it is going to induce a current. It is going to induce a current. So we have to check the direction of that induced current. We have to check the direction of the induced current. So we are going to check the direction of the induced current by using the Fleming's right hand rule. Fleming's right hand rule. So see here, magnetic field is going in this direction and the conductor is moving in upward direction. It is moving in upward direction. So initially it is in upward direction, then it is in downward direction. Again it is in upward direction, then it is in downward direction. So at each and every case we are going to see what is the direction of the current by using the Fleming's right hand rule. So let's see what the Fleming's right hand rule states here. Stretch the forefinger, thumb and middle finger in a such a way that they are perpendicular to each other. So see here, stretch the forefinger, thumb and middle finger of right hand. Middle finger of, it should be right hand here. Right hand in a such a way that they are perpendicular to each other. So this is the thumb, this is the forefinger and this is the middle finger. So we have to stretch all those things in a such a way that they are right angle to each other. So see here, it is right angle to each is. See here, it is right angle. Again, if you see here, it is right angle in a such a way that they are always perpendicular to each other. Right. Now forefinger indicates the direction of the magnetic field. So this is the forefinger which is going to indicate the direction of the magnetic field. Thumb is going to indicate the motion of the conductor. It is going to indicate the motion of the conductor, and whereas this middle finger is going to indicate the direction of the current induced. It is going to indicate the direction of the current induced. So again we are going to take here father, mother and children. father, mother, children. So father is nothing but what? Father is the thumb again. Father thumb, then mother, and then children. So that is nothing but father is nothing but it is the thumb. Mother is nothing but what? It is the magnetic field again, or it is forefinger. And children is nothing but what? It is the middle finger. So thumb is going to indicate the motion of the conductor. It is going to indicate the motion of the conductor. The same manner for the mother children, if you use it is used in the Fleming's left hand rule. In the same manner, we are going to use that rule in the right hand rule also. Instead of force, we are going to take the motion of the conductor here. So here forefinger is nothing but what? It is the mother. Again, it is a magnetic field here. Again, it is a magnetic field here. So children is nothing but what? It is the current, or we can take it as induced current. Induced current. Right. So by using that rule, we are going to find out the direction of the current induced. So let us take that rule, and we are going to find out the current induced in this case. So check here. The magnetic field is going from the north to the south in this direction. And the movement of the conductor is up and down. So in the first case it is going in the upward direction, second case it is coming in the downward direction. So we are going to take the first case here, which is going in the upward direction by applying the Fleming's right hand rule. So this is father, this is mother, and this is children. So this is nothing but the movement of the conductor. This is the movement, it is the direction of the magnetic field, and this is the direction of the induced current. Right. So in which direction magnetic field is going here? The magnetic field is going from north to south, so it is right only. It is north to south. Right. In the same manner, in which direction conductor is moving? Conductor is moving in the upward direction. Conductor is going in upward direction. So in which direction current will be going to be induced? Current is induced in the inward direction towards the board. If apply the Fleming's right hand rule here. So it is going in the upward direction. It is in the north to south in this direction. If you see here, current is inside here. So you see here, inside here. So current is induced inside the board. So current is the direction the current is towards inside the board. Right. In the same manner, if I move the conductor in the downward direction now, it is first initially it is in the upward direction. Because of that, there is the change in the magnetic field. Because of that, it is inducing current. Now again, if I take that thing in the downward direction, again there will be change in the magnetic field. Right. So if there is the change in the magnetic field, again it is going to induce current. So we have to calculate the direction. We have to identify the direction of the induced current here. So again we are going to use the Fleming's right hand rule. So magnetic field direction is same only. Now this time is going to be shown in the downward section since conducting material is moving in the downward direction. So if we take that thing in the downward direction like this, right, in the downward direction, what is happening here? So it is the direction of the magnetic field, right? And it is the direction of the conductor which is moving in the downward direction in the second case. And in which direction is the current is coming now? Current is coming from the outwards from the board. It is coming outwards from the board. So initially it is like this. After that it is like this. Again it is like this. Again like this. If the conductor moves in the upward section, it is current will be inwards. And if the conductor moves in the downward section, the current will be outwards. So by using the Fleming's right hand rule, we are going to identify the direction of the current which is induced. Right, see here. Another thing I am going to tell you here, which is not there, just see here. Now when conductor moves in the magnetic field in the upward direction, current is inwards. In the second case, when the conductor moves in the downward direction, current is outwards. So if we check here, at each point, at each rotation here, while going in the upward direction, while coming down in the downward direction also, at each and every point, it is changing its direction. The current is changing its direction. So initially it is in the inward direction, after that it is in the outward direction. So for each half circle, it is nothing but in the upward direction, the downward direction. So in each half cycle, the current is changing its direction. Current is changing its direction. Inward, outward, inward, outward, inward, outward. So this type of current is known as the alternating current. So see here, whichever current which is going to change its direction for every half cycle, it is nothing but what? It is the alternating current. So if it is the direct current, what is going to happen here? If it is the direct current, whatever the current which is produced here, if it is the direct current, then the current direction will be in only one direction. So if it is moving in the inward direction, then it will be moving in the inward direction only, not outward direction. If it is coming in the outward direction, it is going to move in the outward direction only. It is going to move in the outward direction only. So this is about the Fleming's right hand rule to find out the induced current. So I hope everything is clear now. Now let us take another example here. Let us consider another example to find out the direction of the induced current. So see here, the conducting material is moving in the left direction from the right. It is moving in the left direction from the right. So it is the movement of the conductor, and magnetic field direction is from top to the bottom. So it is magnetic field direction and the direction of the movement of the conductor. So in which direction the current is going to induce? So see here, it is the movement of the conductor and it is the magnetic field direction. Again we are going to use the Fleming's right hand rule. Now see here, in which direction movement of the conductor is happening? In the left to right. And in which direction magnetic field direction is there from top to the bottom? See here, it is the magnetic field and this is the movement of the conductor. And in which direction current is coming? Current is coming outwards from the board. It is coming outwards from the board. So from inside the board it is coming outwards. So the direction of the current is outwards. So this is about the Fleming's right hand rule. So like that in examination if they ask, you have to use your right hand such a way that it is going to give you the direction of the induced current. Right. So next, up to this point we discussed about the induced current as well as we discussed about how we are going to identify the direction of the induced current. So in which way we are going to increase the amount of current which is induced? So we know that current is very essential. Electricity is very essential. So how we are going to increase the amount of induced current here? So see here, the first condition if we check here, the amount of induced current is directly proportional to the amount of magnetic field. So if there is more amount of magnetic flux, that is nothing but more amount of magnetic field is present, then it is going to induce more amount of current. So more amount of magnetic field is directly proportional to the more amount of magnetic field change when a conductor starts to move in it. Right? So if there is more amount of magnetic field which is going to change, that means there will be more amount of induced current is going to come. So how we are going to increase the factors which increases the induced current, which increases the induced current. So like this you have to remember here, Meena, if you remember, just remember Meena here. So by this we are going to identify factors which is going to increase the induced current here. So first factor is nothing but what? By increasing the magnetic field. If you are taking the magnets, we are going to take the strong magnets to increase the magnetic field, so that we are going to increase the electric current induced. Or if we are taking the electromagnetic field, remember the example where we are using the two coils. So one current carrying coil is going to produce the magnetic field. Because of that magnetic field, it is going to induce the current in the second coil. So either we are going to use that magnetic, either way we are going to induce the current here. Right. So how we are going to increase the magnetic field in that current or in that coil? So first thing, we are going to increase the magnetic field by adding a magnetic material in that coil. By addition of the magnetic material in that coil. So for example, iron. If I put soft iron inside it, it is going to increase the magnetic field. If it is increasing the magnetic field, that means there will be more amount of change in the magnetic field line. So because of that thing, there may be increase in the induced current. So by increasing the magnetic field, we are going to increase the what? We are going to increase the induced current. So second one is I here. If you take here I. I is nothing but what? It is the current. Current. So if you remember again that coil diagram, two coils we are taking, so that if current is passing through in the first coil, it is going to produce magnetic field. In the second coil, by that magnetic field, it is going to induce some current. So we already know that more amount of current is going to increase more amount of magnetic field, right? If I increases, it is going to induce more amount of magnetic field. If there is more amount of magnetic field, that means there will be more amount of electric current induced. So if you increase the electric current in the coil, first coil, in the second coil there will be more amount of induced current will be there. So that is the second case. In the third case, by increasing the number of turns, by increasing the number of turns in a coil. If you want to increase the current by increasing the number of turns, also we are going to increase the current. By that current there will be increment in the induced current, as well as A, that is nothing but area cross section. If we increasing the number of coils, that means its area is also going to get increased. If its area is also going to get increased, that means it is going to provide more amount of magnetic field. So if it is providing more amount of magnetic field, that means there will be more amount of induced current which is going to happen, which is going to come. So this factor is utilized for the making of a generator. So that generator can be utilized for the production of the induced current. So if it is utilizing for the production of the induced current, that means we are going to utilize all these factors, so that in that generator we are going to take more amount of electric current. So this is about the factors which are going to increase the amount of induced current. So here your chapter is completed. Since your syllabus is reduced to 30%, 30% syllabus is reduced. So the generator topic is not there. AC current, DC current is also not there, as well as the domestic circuit is also not there. So I am going to leave that thing, right? I'm going to leave that thing here. Your chapter is completed, and exercise questions we are going to solve in the next class. Now, if you want to know about the generator, the syllabus is reduced here due to the time we can't cover the syllabus now. So, if you want to know about the generator, just see that thing. In the generator, what we are doing here, we are putting two magnets, one is the north pole and the other is the south pole, and we are taking a rectangular coil. We are taking a rectangular rod, and that rectangular coil continuously moving in this magnetic field. So if it is continuously moving in this magnetic field, what is going to happen? There will be change in the magnetic field. Because of that change, it is inducing the current. So that is about generator. So it is not there in your syllabus. So here we have to complete in the next class. We are going to solve the exercise. Up to that point, thank you. Take care. Stay well.